Welcome back to Stargeekz. What's happening? This is Sean.
This is Lil.
This is Steve.
This is Ed, and as always,
we would be honored if you would join us.
Ed, welcome back.
Oh, it's so good to be back. It was so strange, and I apologize for missing last week. I tried so hard.
Stop apologizing.
I wanted to be here so bad and to just watch, and I think I was trying to kill the chat because I could see and I could chat in, and I was just one thing after another. So,
yeah, I mean,
I'm good. I'm glad to be back. Thank you.
Yo, you look so like, damn it, I missed a show. Oh. Do you know how many shows we've missed? Oh my god, it's crazy.
I know. I'm probably gonna be visiting a couple next month, so I mean, I'm gonna try one for sure when I'm in California. But
it's all good.
Yeah.
I got Ed and DJ Geeks here, so we good.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't ever go anywhere, so I'll just be here.
And we'll get you a little, review on how you felt about the show. So,
thank you.
Look at that. Welcome
What's
back.
up, Al?
What's up, Al? What's going on? So Ed, I mean, honestly, Steve, hello. What's up? How y'all doing this week? Everything's good. I mean, we still got another show to talk about later on this week. So
I was gonna say, like, we'll answer those questions later.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh boy, but we have a lot to talk about.
Steve,
I'm gonna guess your 3 episodes of Game of Thrones stuff.
Yo, Steve,
there's a lot to unpack.
Yo, there's a lot to unpack.
Ed, did you watch House of the Dragon?
I started. I haven't gotten back into it, but I will.
Okay.
Whew.
Well, yeah, we'll unpack that one.
Season 1 ends on a note. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. All right.
Or, I mean, sorry, episode 1 ends on a note. Sorry, but this isn't that show.
It's all good. Ed, taking off from the week you were. Do you have any news this week? Was there any news?
The only thing that I had that was not really related to the Acolyte
is ready.
I struggled on this one, and I'll talk about that as we go on. I was excited to see that they're working on a Spaceballs 2. Now, it's very early on. It's in Amazon, and it has Josh Gad, who is both working on writing, producing and of course, he's working with Mel Brooks, who's producing it. So I'm excited. I loved the first Spaceballs, and knowing how Mel Brooks' style of humor is, I'm hoping, and again, it's very early, but I'm hoping that they touch on all of the newer Star Wars and make fun of all of the stuff that we talk about and the fan base. I mean, to spoof that would be fantastic.
I know.
To spoof the sequel trilogy would be an amazing.
Oh yeah,
amazing rail. So
it's interesting though. Like, how do you take this? Mel Brooks is up there in age, so I mean, hopefully,
Josh Gad would have to be like Barf's son, and then you could literally get Bill Pullman to come back, but then as Lone Star, but then you could get Bill Pullman's kid, right? He's in that Out of Range show on Amazon. Get him, float him right over. He's Lone Ranger's son. See?
Yeah, but who do you get to play Darth? Who do you get to play? Either Darth Helmet or Darth Sidious? Like, I don't know how do you pull that?
Well, Rick Moranis is not coming back for that.
Yeah, Rick Moranis isn't coming back for Darth.
That's my problem with this. Is like no John Candy and no Rick Moranis.
I mean, we haven't had John Candy for years, man. So it's like,
have we had any sequels to John Candy movies? No, like that's what I'm saying. He was a big part of this. And I mean, you look right there. He's one of the top billed guys. I don't know. It's just whenever they do these sequels, I love Spaceballs. I love Mel Brooks. I want a sequel to History of the World that I was promised at the end of History of the World Part 1. We had a trailer for History of the World Part 2 that we never got. That's my favorite Mel Brooks movie. History of the World is the best.
It's great.
But again, they could do it, and like you said, if you have Josh Gad as Barf's son, and then you're doing all the sequel, and then maybe the only person that does come back is
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman They kill him off, Han Solo style, and that's it, and it's all new characters.
I think Mel Brooks will come back. I mean, Mel Brooks is older, but like he could play Darth Sidious just because.
Yeah, he could be back doing his thing. That's fine because the Emperor somehow Palpatine has returned, right? So somehow Mel Brooks has returned. It would all work in that regard. But to me, it's just like when I see this movie, the first thing that pops in my head is John Candy, and it's tough.
So could you take this and do it in a history of the world style to where you have these segments? Because there's so much Star Wars content now. Like you could touch on everything from Mandalorian to Ahsoka to the sequels to the prequels. I mean, there's a lot they can play with.
There is a lot they can play with. I don't know if they would do it in that style. I think it would be more of a Family Guy style where you would have random cameo things pop in and it'd be like, oh, there's Mando, right? Or there's this, and it's just like a one shot thing. But then they have the one story being told, the overall story being told.
But so if history, you watched History of the World Part 2, right? It's out. It's out on Netflix. It's out on Hulu. It's 8 episodes. It came out in 2023. So
okay, that's the episode thing.
Written and produced by Mel Brooks.
I remember. No, I want that. I want what I watched in the 80s to come out. Not this series. I want what I watched in the 80s to come out.
So you didn't like what you got. Okay, that's a big difference then.
Steven just fact checking you, man.
I know.
Like, you know this shit came out, right, dog?
I didn't realize he's fucking CNN over here fact checking me while I'm talking, but that's fine. That's fine.
No, but that makes it. That's actually a good point though, because you weren't interested in the History of the World Part 2 that came out on Hulu that he wrote and produced just last year. So are you thinking that this Spaceballs is going to be more of that? More of old man Brooks drumming on them?
I don't know.
What's up, Taylor?
What's up, Taylor?
To me, the only problem is I don't know if they're going to be able to use those references from Star Wars like they did in Spaceballs. I don't think that's going to work because, this thing is tight. Disney got their thing like on lock. So you can't really do things that you used to be able to do. Because to be honest with you, like even like small things, Steve, I mean, we all watched Ready Player One and they couldn't pull anything from fucking Star Wars. And there was a lot of Star Wars references in there.
Well, the thing is, the difference is if you work under a spoof, you can do stuff, right?
Is that true? I didn't know that.
You can't use things exactly, but under the spoof, because there's tons of spoofs.
Well, Family Guy did it after Disney acquired Star Wars, and they did.
No, it was before, wasn't it?
No way.
It was before. It was before.
Here I go again.
There goes.
Fact check seeing that. But the question is, like, they did, but like, didn't they get approval? They got approval from Lucas to do that.
They might have.
I remember in the documentary they did.
Yeah. Maybe because of the Darth helmet design and stuff like that. But like, you can get away from that,
right?
You could, but
I mean, the Schwartz. I mean, I don't know.
It's got to be funny, man. It's got to be funny. Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that. It might be.
Well, Nez, the thing is the movie might not be made the way initially should have. Maybe that's why I wasn't a big fan of the History of the World series, right? Because I was expecting History of the World. Like I was expecting that level of comedy. I think it felt watered down.
You're right. Blue Harvest dropped in 2007, and Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012. So
he got approval for that though, so he was okay. I think it was okay for him to do it. So I
guess as long as you get written permission, then you're good to go.
Things get spoofed all the time though, so I guess that's the thing. And who knows? And Josh Gad has a big in with Disney, so I'm sure if he needs some, he knows people.
He's got some Olaf cred he can spread around.
Oh, even more than that, he was what's his face in the live action Beauty and the Beast. Forget the character's name, but he's been around. He's been around a lot. So.
All right, well, Spaceballs too. We'll see what happens. Very curious.
We ain't found shit. Coming in the desert.
I got the pick over there. I remember I had the pick. Remember I got the pick on cards.
That's so good.
Oh,
I do remember when you bought that pick on card.
Wonderful.
yeah. And what else you got?
So I sent this, I think, to all of you while I was gone. I was on vacation. I was on a cruise ship, but they have an art gallery, and they had some Star Wars art for sale, which, of course, normally I blow right past the art gallery, could care less. I see these, and my family's like, where did he go? And, of course, I'm just standing there drooling over them.
Leaves his family in the middle of a vacation.
Very interested. And then the lady comes over and starts talking about the artist, which I couldn't find who it was in time for the show to give them credit. But they were beautiful pieces. I think they were auctioning for starting around $2,000 to $3,000, and that's when I'm like, I'm out. So
And
I mean,
that one on the right there. Oof.
that's the one that
mean,
I liked. The
yeah.
Docking Bay 94.
Yeah, that's
is
beautiful.
That's-
fantastic.
I mean, Sean's got that in his back pocket at all times. Come on.
No, I don't.
Come on,
No,
man.
I don't. Don't put that on your Ricky Bobby. Yes.
pulls out you got that credit card with that Jedi logo on it, like
Nah, not for that. Nah. I mean, it's a beautiful
So-
piece. Like if it costs like maybe $300-400, I'd be like, oh, okay, I could do that. Not for 2,000. You can keep that.
Now, the other part that I liked, so I was in Alaska and we're in a town called Ketchikan, and we walk into this one shop and there's normal touristy stuff, but then I see on the walls these.
Huh.
Now,
those are-
Andy Everson does a Star Wars with a native Alaskan feel to them, which I got the shirt that
Oh,
matches that
what a
painting.
shirt. Nice.
But these paintings were so cool. They had another one. If they would have had that Stormtrooper in a t-shirt, I would have bought that. But the Stormtrooper one he had this kind of like fisherman hat that I'm like, no, it's too out of. But there's some nice pieces. I put on there, if anybody's interested, the place is called Fish Creek Company. That QR code will take you right to their website where it's his page. He's got this artwork, some other very cool things, but it's a really cool take on Star Wars.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So-
That's different. How much were the paintings?
I know the Fett one on the left that I'm looking at, that was, I think, 2,400.
Okay, that's not bad.
I mean, it's a big painting, but I mean,
It's not
it-
bad.
it-
I wouldn't do it.
yeah, that's.
It's out of my price range, but it's really nice.
I mean, the
No.
That's if we watch the original Star Wars in the Navajo language. I don't believe any of us have.
I'm interested though.
yes, so am I. I'm like,
Gotta see that. Yeah.
Might
Des,
have to
do
do
you have
that.
copies that you can share or links to?
Please
I'm
do.
just wondering, is it something that we can just change on the audio feed? Like, because you could change to so many languages. I never really looked through.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about changing it off of English.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Huh.
Never really
but-
dawned on me, considering I don't speak anything other than this. and this is a struggle at times. So
But yeah, so I got the T-shirt, and that was enough for me because I went up, grabbed it, and wasn't even thinking, and I brought it up, and they're like, "Okay, and that's $54." I'm like, for a T-shirt, but
Oh, that ain't nothing.
uh,
See what I said? What I said was not wrong.
yeah,
I spent
I'd have come back with a picture.
$6.99.
I'd have come back
$6.99.
with a picture of them paintings and a picture of that shirt.
So, I mean, it's it, but you're never gonna get that shirt anymore.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nez says you could change it on Disney Plus.
And you know what? Also, price, your budget changes a little bit when you're on vacation. Prices they ebbs and flows a little bit.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Yes.
get the shit you're gonna get anywhere else than on vacation. You're like, damn, I'm not gonna be back in Alaska no time soon. So why
No.
not get something? You know what I'm saying? And it's something that you love. So that's even
Oh, yeah.
better.
And you had it in hand. You didn't have to buy it on a fucking store online and wait to get it shipped. And then you get it and it's fucking too small or too big or what have you.
Right. See, it's a different level when you're on vacation. It's like you see something, you're like, damn, I can afford that. Let me get that. Like, you know, if you seen a Spider-Man shirt like that, like you would do the same shit, a little like Steve, a Power Ranger shirt, same thing. You never seen it before, I'm gonna grab that shit. So
Yeah, but now, well, yeah, I can't really. That would be. I was like, that'd be a cool thing with Power Rangers, but like, I can't do that.
well, it's
That's-
like Batman or Robin or something. You know what I mean? All right, that is all the news this week. Collecting news. I got some stuff. I guess like I can join Ed and what he got. Ed, I mean, you have this figure already, but I actually finally found it in the wild and it was really cheap. So,
A-Wing pilot.
A-Wing pilot from the last 17 collection. Didn't have a gun with him. But it is a hard one to find. I did actually I was talking about it the other day and I was like, dang, like, you know, I need that A-Wing, that green pilot. And man, I got this for dumb cheap. And it is an official Kenner one, so it's not like a knockoff or anything. So cool to have it. Again, slowly building that last 17 collection. but it's nice to have.
Steve, the box set of the original trilogy. I have Nez. I got two of them. One's going to Sean. Sean's getting the one that actually has the box cover. Mine is just open. So.
I appreciate that. And in my collecting, I'm trying to grab all the Kenner original card backs, not the fronts, just the card backs. I'm just trying to get all of them together. I did find a couple this week. Was actually these two I had found at a toy show. It's weird, and I'll tell you guys, going into toy shows now, there's nothing I want anymore. So it's like now I'm just kind of like grabbing the bottom of the barrel shit. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me just grab these card backs. They were like $2. So I just grabbed these, and I do want to get the whole collection of them and put them in a frame and frame them all up. So I'm definitely on the hunt.
Just the backs? Frame all the backs?
Just the card, yeah, all the different card backs that they had for the Kenner line.
Bring back such fond memories.
Yeah, they had a lot of different ones. There's like one with Akbar on it. There's like a couple other different ones. So yeah. I'm definitely building them up. So I'm definitely gonna have them all in one thing. So it's gonna be kind of cool whenever I find all of them.
Card backs, the books inside video games, all that shit was designed for you to stare at on the drive home so you wouldn't bother your parents.
Yeah.
And now we got phones, so now all the packaging is garbage.
I agree. I do. It's funny. I love
kids don't buy toys anymore either.
It's true. They don't. None of my kids want no toys at all.
None. So it's cool. I do love. I want the original, but I just love the way the colors are and just how everything is just kind of. I even love Steve, how you collect VHS tapes and they're like all messed up a little bit.
Some of them are messed up. Yeah, that's love, man. That's wear and tear. That's it's been used.
Yeah, man. And this one was cool because it had Lando on the back of it, so that was kind of cool just to have Lando on there. And then this one had the Rebel commander, which is cool. But yeah, man.
Lando.
Hello, what have we here?
So, but I wanted to say something real quick because, again, like I was saying, it's hard to go into collecting now because now I'm so just not into anything anymore, and I have so much stuff now. I'm just like kind of like I don't care. Like I went to 2 different toy shows and I got nothing.
Yeah, but now because now you don't need anything. Now you're buying only things that you want, and it has to catch your eye, and it has to be outside of the norm. And there's so much stuff that's out there that you would have bought, but you already have it. You don't need it, or you already collected that and sold all that collection off to get this other thing, and you're like, damn, that was 4 collections ago. No, I'm good.
I thought about dipping a little bit into the original Kenner, about everything in box, like Kenner vehicle stuff. But you know what? But it's not. It really. I thought it was. I went to the toy show before that, and they had like the original B-Wing. It was in package. It was only like $150. And I was like, that's not bad. I thought it'd be a little bit more than that, like way like $500-600. But it was in good condition. I just didn't get it because I wasn't ready for it yet. I was like, nah, I'm gonna hold off. I'm not ready. But I definitely would like to get, because I know Ed has all the original packaging. I would like to have just the vehicles of all the original packaging at some point. But I'm not stressing it.
Just be careful, as Yoda says. Once you start down that dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
Yeah, Ed, let me tell you, they had a vinyl cape They had a vinyl cape Jawa in package for $12,950. You can see it. Yeah.
See that's one of those again. I don't know. I would be I'd almost have to buy one. Is it like sealed and graded?
Oh, it's sealed and it's not great. Yeah, it's sealed and graded at a 76.
That would be the only way I'd go with that because there are so many fakes and they are so well produced.
Yeah.
Like people, because there's a slight variation in the color to where people would get an Obi-Wan Kenobi vinyl cape and cut out, because you can use the size of that and cut out a Jawa one, put it on the Jawa, steam open the bubble and put it back in, and it would look amazing and perfect, but it's not real. So that's why to have it graded, that's the only way you could go with something like that.
It was AFA graded 75, again unpunched. 12. Wow. I think he just. I don't know who would pull that trigger, but I mean, $12,000
for a little tiny Jawa.
I'm good.
John L wants to know if you start collecting like real movie props.
I mean,
no, real props. You have prop replicas.
Screen used.
Real props. Screen used props. I think that's your next step.
You could have jumped in on the Anthony Daniels auctions.
No, that's too much for me. When you start getting over like 5-10 shit for shit like that, I'm cool. I don't think I need. I think you know what I am gonna get though. I do want the storyboards, the original storyboards they have those on eBay. They're not expensive at all actually, and they're original storyboards from like Return of the Jedi, Empire, and Star Wars: New Hope. I am gonna get those at some point.
Yeah, see something you really collect now.
But no, I can't. Screen uses. Woo, that's a whole different beast. It's a whole. You can only get like if you had to get a screen use, it'd be like one thing, like one or two things. But I wouldn't go crazy. Like that's a whole different beast. And not even many collectors even have screen use props. Like the ones that I've seen, there's a couple, but not a lot. You know. I think I'm good. I'm happy. So
for now,
no, I can't go screen use. That's too expensive for me. That's out of my price range.
Yeah, then you say that now, but then all of a sudden you'll like somebody will hand you a box of them.
Well,
like,
hands me a box of screen use shit. I think everybody's gonna take it.
Here's a box of screen used Vader. Here's Vader's costume, screen used.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Wait, would you turn that down?
Of course I wouldn't, but you're the only one here who would have that possibility of getting it. That's what I'm.
It's true.
And so now that it has been brought up and vocalized, do we wish it to fruition in the fact that, let's say a week, a month, 6 months, Sean's going to come on and be like, guess what? I went fill in the blank and somebody had
thermal
use.
The real thermal detonator.
Yes. Will
and they gave it
will
to
it
me.
into existence?
And
Will
they
it?
just-
Yes. Because you know what? Because that would be awesome.
I mean,
that would be fucking awesome.
I mean, so screen.
See, and here's why: the more cool shit like that he gets, the more of his old Batman shit that he wants to get rid of, and the more shit I get to come up on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
More stuff I get for free.
So what
Nez, Sean hates pinball, so
I don't hate
don't
that.
have any
Pinball
pinball machines. I have a Star Wars foosball table.
So screen
Still
use meaning it had to be in the movie, in the movie,
or from the movie, or like it's one of the extra ones that they made, but maybe they didn't get on screen. But it's one of those, like not a replica.
From the set. From the set.
Boy, you guys are hurting me. This is not a replica, Sean. You can't have that shit that you got in the back here.
Yeah, that shit. What you got? That's Bootsy. All right. We need that. We need that on set shit.
That's that fake bullshit.
Damn. Damn. All right. Well, that hurts. Hurts a lot working to that, but all right.
It only hurts.
It's cool. But was it on screen?
It only hurts now because it hasn't fallen into your lap yet. It only hurts now. In 6 months, when it falls into your lap, it'll be a whole different conversation.
Oh, I was at the farmer's market, and I have Luke Skywalker's
Yeah.
screen used hilt.
Yeah,
Oh,
right
yeah.
in between
There
the
you go.
cucumbers and the fucking gourds. There it was.
I was talking to this guy whose brother's nephew's cousin actually worked on the set, and we got to talking, and he had this thing, and he just gave it to me.
Yeah. Or he wanted nothing for it. He said, give me 150 for it.
But I got I have an original Star Wars poster. Does that count?
No, that wasn't screen used. That's just a poster.
Oh,
Damn.
Damn. Oh, it's not. It's just a fucking poster that came from 1977. Don't mean shit.
Yeah, all
What a piece of junk.
Piece of junk.
Man, this hurts. All the work I put in it hurts. It's like,
Yeah, it's all bullshit, dude.
like, it's all bullshit.
shit.
All right, well, fuck it. All right, so look, listen, everybody's here to really hear how we felt about Acolyte. But Ed, I want to get your take on last week's episode of Acolyte and how you felt about it.
See, it's hard to look back because now that we've seen 4, and this was something that I was kind of wondering as I got through episode 4, and I'd read that a lot because, like, if you look online, the critic reviews are not bad for this show. Like, it's, I think, like 84, 87%. It's the fans that are shitting all over it.
Brutal.
And one of the reasons that I'd heard is that a lot of critics received episodes 1 through 4 in their entirety to watch all at once. And so this makes me wonder, is this format work to where we try not to give this thing a rating until we've seen it all? Would it be better suited if they dropped all 8 episodes at one time so we could watch them in their entirety? Because it's hard to go through and do half hour here, 40 minutes there, 34 minutes. Like, we get bits and pieces. And then that takes me to the next question of, like, we've seen the edits, the re-edits from fans. Is this better off to, like, even if you don't do it episodic, like, put this all together and give us like either 2-hour movies or make it all one? Because I don't think they're doing themselves any credit by breaking it up this way. If you'd have asked me last week about episode 3, I'd have been like, well, it's kind of not bad because it's giving us some context in the past and how it fits together, but it doesn't really work. Now that I've seen episode 4, 3 makes more sense and fits better. So that's.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you that after we review this because man, I mean, let's get into it. I'll play the spoiler. If you haven't watched it yet, I mean, jump off, like, do whatever you want to do. But, like, listen, we about to deep dive into it. And Steve, I feel like he has a lot to say. But I'll play our spoiler warning. Almost played that WW dot again.
Oops.
All right, Ed, the Acolyte episode 4. Is it called Day?
As far as I know.
Huh? I didn't know that. Yep, it is called Day. All right.
Because episode 5 is going back to the last the episode prior. We're gonna see it from a different vantage point.
Oh, yeah. So Ed, we are on, where are we at here?
We are on Kofor. Catching up with Kanaka, the Wookiee Jedi. Now, this is interesting because, again, there's so much misdirection in the show. It's gotten to the point to where it's almost confusing. They're trying to misdirect us so much. Mm-hmm. So we have 4 Jedi who we know are being hunted. Whatever happened that they haven't filled us in yet seems to have been so bad that 2 of these Jedi have self-exiled. Like, they not sure what happened or how it impacted them. I know the one guy who we laughed at kind of aged far faster than he should have.
Torben.
Yes. We know that he was possessed by the witches. It actually, looking back on it, it looks like Kanaka was also in that, and I think we're gonna, because we saw it in a trailer, it almost like Kanaka and Torben were fighting at one point. So there's definitely something that happened, and one of the indicators is once he goes into his place is all of this symbolism that is what's on May's head and the Mother Anastaea's head.
Yeah, I real quick, I didn't ask everybody what they thought about the episode breakdown because I want to hear what everybody says afterwards because there's a lot, it's a lot to unpack, and I'm very curious afterwards to see how everybody felt. But go ahead, Ed, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so something definitely happened that forced him into exile, and it was obviously haunting him.
Yeah. So real quick, sneak. There's a little thing that was in there, and I don't know if you caught it. There was a bowcaster in there in his little fort hut. It was on the floor. So I was like, oh, that's. I guess do all Wookiees have bowcasters? I guess they do, right?
Well,
yeah,
and this
just
was
not clothes.
This was one of my issues with the sequel trilogy when Han Solo uses Chewbacca's bowcaster, because everything prior to that I had read that said that bowcasters were such a heavy and hard to use weapon that only Wookiees could do it because they had the strength to kind of handle it because of the size, the weight, the recoil. So when Han Solo used it, it was like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, really? But that's
little bowcaster right there. Just to kind of
nice.
Show that. I'll drop back out and I'll put your stuff back on the screen. But okay.
So
what's up, Ronaldo?
What's up, Ronaldo? I am the acting of May and you know, I mean, she plays both characters, but I felt like the acting was a little bit off this time around for some reason. I don't know what it was, but it was something weird about it. But like their explanation of things, like it just kind of jumped really fast. But I mean,
I think
cool.
I personally think it's the writing, because we've got her, Amanda Stenberg, who is playing both characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's the same actress doing both, but the portrayal of each of them is so different, and I think it's the writing, because May seems way better. The OSHA piece just seems to fall flat, and it's the same actor, so it's not her. No. I think it's the writing and just the dialogue for some of this,
because this scene was a little bit it just didn't feel I think it's like we're jumping so fast sometimes. I think it's like we don't really know where we at sometimes. I mean,
it's pacing. It's a pacing situation, because like here's the thing, they have here their discussion, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna miss you, all this stuff, and it's like, when the hell did you guys bond?
Right, that's
like that made no sense to me.
They've been
but I was like,
traveling the systems or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, they've had to have had some conversations. You can't.
I get that,
but we haven't seen it. We haven't seen it.
Yeah,
it feel they just met last episode, so you're like, what's going on?
Right, I guess because it is weird how we're thinking like that. It's like we're just taking it episode by episode. When, mind you, there were probably a moment there, but we didn't see any of this shit. So it's like, wow.
No, but I actually
the thing is because it happened so fast, because May already got to that planet to go. You know what I mean? Like she was already headed to get the Wookiee. You know, like that's what I'm saying. It seems like, yes, it's probably there's some time here. But we just don't know. We don't have a semblance of what that time is.
And I don't mind the interplay between these two, between Daphne Keene's character and OSHA. Okay. Like their interplay is fine. None of this bothered me. Okay. One thing in this scene. Well, not this scene. It's coming up here in this tower though.
Yeah. I do like. I mean, I like how the Jedis were practicing I do like how they're say, hey, you're practicing without a weapon. You need to know how to practice. You need to know how to fight without a weapon. The problem is that we only seen it here in this show, but where we did not see it throughout the whole sequels, prequels, and trilogy. So it's like,
well, it's because at this point in time, the Jedi were different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the Jedi in the Skywalker saga, they were different. They were under the thumb of the
Republic.
Republic and everything. Here, there's still that split because you still hear that. Like, we don't want to hear that because we don't want this to become a thing with the Republic. There's still a separation between the two.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the writing, Ed. You're right about that here because all this lesson is all hollow nonsense. It's all like keep your motions fluid. Your enemy will be off guard. You're like, what? It's all just like bullshit. It's all like shit that Splinter found in that book in the sewer. You know what I mean? Like it's all like, oh, okay. It's like, I guess, life changing. All right.
There were two moments that this was one of them that they kind of make it seem as though Osha misses and regrets her decision with not being a Jedi. This was one just because the interaction with them. And I also wonder as they're having their conversation and we're kind of looking at whatever happened with those 4 Jedi and with May and Osha, what happens on that planet with these 2 girls? Will this impact the entire Jedi Order and have ripple effects going forward? Could this disillusion Jackie? Because she is a very straight-laced by the book, as it seems most of these young Jedi are. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts the Jedi Order going forward. Is this, which I guess the beginning of the end?
And it's just like Osha's just so like she has no like she's not like go get him. You know what I mean? She's just kind of like hanging out. She's just like standing around in the background while shit's happening. She's like, I guess I'll go. Like I don't want to, but okay. And like, but she's so meek, and it's like it's so clear that she's gonna turn evil. Osha's gonna turn evil, and it's like clear as day. And May's gonna be the good one, and it's like, oh yeah, 100%.
I can't see that.
I guarantee you, Sean. I guarantee you, Osha's the evil one.
Well, then there's the other part of that, and I'm starting to hear a lot of this in kind of like the general chat and rumbling. Are they somehow the same person?
I was going to bring that. Screen Rant actually talked about that.
Screen Rant did some shit where they were like, and they're not the same person. Again, it's the same thing as Rey and Kylo Ren. The power of 2 is 1. So I think both of their power combined is something that, again, we got to get further into this because there's a lot of shit to unpack a little bit. And I don't know if this villain is actually prevalent in this world, but I gotta know because I'm very curious. But keep going, Ed. I'm sorry, and Ed, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Again,
No, but they did talk about what if, for some odd reason, May is dead, and this is a mental force projection that is actually making her real to them. Because, like, if you look at,
that would be a stretch.
It's a stretch. Yeah, like they're both there. They are
saying that's what the projection was from Screen Rant. I didn't say it. I'm just saying like they went with that where it's the same person with a fractured psyche.
I would not be a fan of that.
I think I saw that to where this is the Star Wars version of Fight Club.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think
I don't like that either. But
yeah, that's terrible.
We shall see.
I'm sorry.
Now,
Jason
and we've got this conversation with them that happens in a couple segments. But again, this is part of the whole. Is it misdirection? Is it intentional misdirection? Because everybody's wondering whoever the Jedi or the Sith is, if they are truly a Sith with the red lightsaber, is, and I think it's Quamir.
Yeah, something.
It's Jason Mendoza. That's what I call him.
If he is that,
not Ezra Miller,
same character.
No, he was in The Good Place. Like, that's what like he's hilarious.
He looks
I
like
love
the
him
Flash.
so much.
He looks like he's gonna run really fast.
He does. Honestly, his whole shtick, it's just so not working for me.
I mean, that's the question. Is it forced? Is he playing the bumbling idiot because he's really a killer.
Of
Like,
course.
You're waiting for that moment where he just like fucking just changes. Boom.
Right. Or are they setting it up to make us think that, and then they're going to completely switch it around? Again, there's so much back and forth where they're leading us down a path, but do we really know? Because even in this, like, May's calling him out and going, hey, well, you like bounty hunters won't go there, but you will? He's like, well, yeah. And then there's the whole part with your sister being alive doesn't change anything, that you still need to kill the Wookiee because you made a deal. So, and we still go back to episode 2 when the two of them kind of fought, and he's good. So there's a lot that's with him as a character that
he's definitely force sensitive in many ways, because the shit that he was blocking and like moving around like that.
Yeah, he's got like that drunken master style.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he'll fool you into like thinking he's slow, and he'll just catch you slipping real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I do like that drunken master style though, Steve. That would be nice if they use that kind of shit. Like, but what can you do?
Is he another acolyte? Is he an apprentice?
I think he's an apprentice.
I don't think he's a master, because with the timeline, if the other stuff is truly canon, we know who Sidious, Palpatine, and then we have his master Plagueis.
Right, that's why I was going to bring up Plagueis. Like, is Plagueis in effect in this, and is if they're going to make him canon, which they kind of have to do because he is canon in the prequels. When Palpatine is talking about the ex-master who killed, hit the master. So
Plagueis would be like an apprentice at this point.
Plagueis,
we don't know.
Plagueis would be the master. He would be this cat right here would be the apprentice, and then May would be like, he would be like Asajj Ventress. How Dooku used Asajj Ventress as his acolyte to do that. Then, so that's how that plays. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Or we could be one step before that, because if you go before Plagueis, his master was Tenebrous. So that's
a deep cut, and I don't think we're gonna do.
I also want to point out here the cinematography, right? The setting looks very real, looks very lived in.
Because
you're gonna have some more pictures coming up where it don't. It looks like they walked right off the set of that fucking dinosaur show, and it's like not the mama. Fucking, it is not good.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. I agree with you on that one. Keep going.
Well, part of this was filmed in a real place, and then the other part of the forest, when they get deep into the forest and you see those slug things, that was all on a screen. That was all in that, whatever that's called.
Yeah, but this is a more good set design. This looks good. See, like how like the back of the walls, everything looks like it's a little bit weathered. There seem to be texture to things. Yeah. So many shots, so many areas of this show. Things are too shiny. They're too clean. It's too perfect, and it just looks fake. Here, this looks good. This all looks really good.
That looks great. I actually did not like the green face.
Well, they didn't do any close-ups. I was watching. They kept the camera far away. We're in different light. And last time she was in like a surgically white room. It was like ridiculous. Like, why would you light the room like this?
Right.
But here it's better. It's still not good makeup, but it's better.
Yeah. Ed.
So we did get confirmation that it is Ki-Adi-Mundi, who is one of the Jedi here. Right. So we're getting some connection to those in the future. I know there's a lot of people who don't like that he's in this because, of course, with this show and I don't know how they're going to tie this up. He's the one that we see in the prequel who's like, it can't be the Sith. They've been extinct for a millennium. Like, you're here.
Did you forget that? Yeah, but Star Wars has a habit of that too. But look, it's like Leia was like, did she ever be like, well, they were like, oh, fucking Obi-Wan died. Leia was like, oh, let's go. She wasn't like, oh, man, that guy like totally, we had like an adventure when I was like 8. And fucking
right.
He's dead? That sucks. Like nothing. Like they casually forget what they need to.
They all
not only that, like we don't know how this is going to end. Right now, they don't say it's a Sith. They say it's a splinter, right? They know
Yeah.
there are other Force user religions out there. And even in the comics that go into the High Republic area, they talk about that.
Yep, different.
So they're not saying here because of how she's
Sure.
trained that she's been trained by a Sith.
No.
They're saying, is it a Jedi? Is it
Although
this? Is it a splinter?
Amelia makes a valid point. They
And that's what I'm
also
saying. Like people get so fucking bent out of shape.
I agree.
The one thing I have heard, which I don't know if this is true or not, like they're like, well, he wasn't even born yet. I'm like, I don't know where that is written in canon. I don't read all
somewhere in the
novelizations.
legends stuff. Star Wars legends.
But then the
stuff.
legends
I don't know
stuff-
what's canon. I don't know what
But
is
the
anymore.
legend stuff is not canon.
Legend
So
is
like,
not canon. I agree.
yeah. So like, if it's not canon, then why is everyone getting butthurt about it? Like that's my problem here. It's like, just go with the story you're being told. You're being told this
You
visually.
know why everyone is. Nobody's mad that Star Wars isn't Star Wars anymore. They're mad that they're not young and
Well, I
don't
sent
have
you
to
guys
pay
that-
fucking bills and taxes.
I sent that meme. I don't see where you on. That was
Yeah, I'm on
Yeah.
the fucking feed. You guys finally put me on there after months, you jackasses. But
wasn't my fault. You blame that. No, I'm just teasing that. But no, but it's so true. It's like anything with what we hold and love so true. It's like no, it's not that it was great. It was
it's
what we
always
remember,
been
how we felt when
silly.
we saw it first. It's that.
Like I saw a thing that was an awesome deep dive that showed you know when the actual first live action Night Sister was. You want to know where she was at? Ewok fucking movie.
Oh
Second-
shit! That's right, yo. Good job, Steve.
Chobra. Like it's all silly bullshit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just like some of it's. I think some people like me. I still get bent out of shape about like, well, we had Andor, right? And like why can't it be all like that? Like, but that's my opinion, right? And like, I don't know. This is somebody else's Star Wars, and like, I don't think this is terrible. I think that they make some very questionable decisions with like where episodes end and how much time we waste versus how much time we spend actually doing some cool shit and set design and poor cinematography and terrible lighting and like there's question marks there. Not so much with like the story or like any of that. It's because the story I'm actually finding kind of interesting.
We are spoiled. Like we're like spoiled fucking children when we watch these shows because we're grabbing so many different shows. It's like we have The Boys, we have Game of Thrones, we have this and we have that, and we're pulling all this shit into it needs to be this kind of show, but we can't do that. And it's like we're questioning everything, and that sucks because everything is being questioned now, and that's everything. Even for Marvel TV shows, everything is questioned.
Listen,
That's
I
what I'm saying.
have my problems with the Acolyte. I've talked about them at length, mostly about how they painted up this lady to be green. But like, it's not. I don't have the same problems. I read all the problems. Not one person's bitching about this fucking terrible paint job. It's only me. I'm standing on this hill by myself. But like everything else everyone's complaining about, I just don't see. Like, I don't get the agenda that's supposed to be getting beat over the head. But
yeah, I don't know either. It's stupid.
Yeah, there was that.
Motherfuckers is canceling Disney Plus. Like, motherfucker, are you serious? There's so much more shit on Disney Plus besides Star Wars.
Yeah, the first Omen's on Disney Plus. You want to talk about it?
Yeah,
You want to talk about an agenda? No, I'm scared now of certain body parts.
Anyways, back to this. This is pretty cool. I like how they like read out the dead guys. It's
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
savage. It's like I better not ever get video game graphic in a fucking Zoom call with you. Fuck, I'm the first one to go. Like, here's all of them. Well, Steve's in the red picture. It's fucked up. But I thought all this was cool. I like they're all like geared up, man. They got their colors. They're fitted out.
Yeah.
Well,
I like the little sniffy guy.
Yo,
wait.
with Basil, that guy's fucking rad. I want more of him.
Wait, hey, good. I'm sorry.
there's a lot that happened during this council meeting that because I watched it a couple times and then I always finally go back and then watch it with the subtitles on. So Coyote Mundi makes and it fits his character for what we see in the prequel trilogy, because he's like, an apprentice that doesn't know their master? That's absurd. So it's fitting for him. But there's, and we already talked about their questioning, is it a splinter order or worse? They talk about that 4 Jedi were stationed on that planet.
Yeah.
Earlier, they talked about how they just happened to be there, check things out. They're now saying that, no, you were sent there with a very suspicion. So, okay, they're leading us down that. They talk about that they don't want to bring it to the High Council because of the whole thing with the Senate.
So they're being shady.
Yes.
Sneaky.
Now, your green girl makes some points to where she's like, May is a small part of her master's plan. So they're letting you know that, or at least they're foreshadowing that the 2 girls are not the real picture in this. Like, they're the diversion. And then the other part, which made me scratch my head, is they ended it with going, well, she won't surrender without getting something she wants. Do we have something that she wants? And Saul's like, just nods his head like, yes. So they know way more than they're letting on.
Well, but I think that Saul's alluding to they have OSHA because he knows he saw, because he's talking and he says that he saw her eyes change when he said that OSHA was alive. So I think that he knows what she wants. And so I think that there's that, but I do think the stationing on the planet is a key. And you're right about Homeboy talking the same way. He does like answer his own questions, like as though it was a stupid question, but like you asked it. Like, what the fuck? But no, you make a lot of good points there.
So May's,
and we also
May's
hear
debate.
something from Stoll before, like he says to May, not May, to OSHA, that when we get May and get her safely on the ship, I'm going to tell you everything that happened that day. So like he says that right there, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, so now that we're gonna get the whole different perspective here.
Okay.
Yep.
And we get introduced to Basil, and he's fucking awesome.
I like him. I thought he was an adorable little creature.
I like his little helmet.
This was another scene where the internet went nuts.
Why?
Because there was a comment there where OSHA was asking, she was probably like, is he or they with us? Like, because she didn't know what
creature.
Exactly. And everybody's like, oh, agenda pushing. And I'm like,
oh my God. I didn't even hear about this. And I don't even give a fuck anymore, dude. Like, stop this bullshit of who he, they. Listen, man. It's a little beaver, dog. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, there's crazier things in the world happening right now.
And then they continue. And then they
dating a 24-year-old.
Well, they also can then call him he the rest of the time because it's he. She corrects him right there and says his name is Basil. So it's like, hey, you were bitching, and like they corrected it right there in front of you. But because you were bitching so loud, you didn't hear him.
Right. It's just true, Steve.
Because you're shaking your fist at the
fucking
sky.
canceled. You canceled your damn subscription before you even got the fucking next sentence out. You went and wrote a whole goddamn paragraph on Reddit, and now fucking here we are.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Anyways, Basil fucking rocks.
I liked her little outfit.
He does. He needs a plush.
I liked her outfit because it reminded me of Jedi. No, Jedi Fallen Survivor, whatever the fucking game we're playing now.
Oh, she's got the poncho. I was going with like the stripe, like because Luke was wearing that white striped kind of.
Yeah, no, it reminded me of the poncho that he had. That's why I was like, oh, that's cool.
So
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
The one that she in the very previous scene was like, and I'm not wearing that. And then as soon as the next scene, it's like, I'm wearing that.
Yeah, that was funny.
And Pip's got a little attitude. It's like sprays him with fucking mace or something.
Yeah, don't try and sniff me down.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
and we
like
one of
and you know who sucks too is Yord. He's like a nobody.
I like Yord, man.
A lot of people hate him on the internet.
I like Yord. He's like a
he's corny, and he's like you're gonna need to give me that blaster. Like,
yeah, he's like a dick.
Fuck up.
Oh,
you fucking, shut the fuck up. Sit down. All right, you're not in charge here. Sit down.
I like him because he's a dick. It's like, oh, okay, well, this is what we need. We need a dickhead fucking Jedi. I like him. Like, his character doesn't bother.
You know what it is, Sean? I worked on construction sites with a lot of people that are like Yord.
Right. He's a dickhead.
And we do a lot of telling people like Yord to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck back down.
right. She looked at him when she had the blast. She's like, yeah, you gonna take this motherfucker away from me because I'm gonna blast shit out of you. Like, I was okay. I'm okay with his character. Like, it don't bother me. He's just a dickhead. Like, all right, cool.
No,
cool.
I'm waiting for him to do something tight.
I am
think he will.
totally waiting for him to do something tight.
I think he will. I'm just giving him shit for right now.
And you figure that the two of them, Osha and I'm assuming Yord, from the way that they talk, they were in training together.
Yeah.
He finally gets his knighthood, which it seems like it may have taken a little longer than with others because of what Osha said earlier on. So he's just trying to be like, oh, well, I made my position and I need to kind of show my authority.
Yeah.
She's just like, the hell with you. No, you have no authority. I remember you when you were a nobody.
So I'm looking at the robes here and I'm thinking like, is it like the darker the shade of brown, like the higher the rank, and then maybe they finally go to like those white robes at the end when they're like,
maybe.
I'm trying to figure it out because like you see Daphne Keene, I can't remember her character's name, but she's in a really like almost like a yellowish brown robe. The dude right next to her is like dark brown.
Yeah, maybe.
And then the two people in front of them are like a little bit lighter. So I'm just trying to figure out like the hierarchy of what's going on. And then you got Saul. He's in like super dark brown robes. So
yeah, maybe it's apprentice, whatever, and then highest is.
I need to know. I wish I need to know these things.
Now, one of the other Jedi that I don't think is in that image, and there's
looks
a lot
like a
of
scene from the next Predator movie.
that was done with intention.
Nice.
But there was another Jedi in there that I don't think was in that image, but we're still out to figure out if Plo Koon is one of the Jedi on this. I know some say
I saw
no
him in the back
because the lightsaber color. Others think yes. It's not been confirmed either way.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that. He's from an aquatic species, so they have to wear that shit on their face to breathe up here, and so like it could be anybody. Like they don't have like identifying.
It's like a COVID mask. You never know who it is.
Yeah. I mean, it does look exactly like Plo Koon though.
Oh yeah,
I do know that. I actually like. He was one of the characters I really thought looked awesome. Like when episode 2 came out, I had like a little figure of Plo Koon and everything.
Yeah, he's like right here in the back.
Yep.
But it does look a little different, so it could just be another if that same species.
I think they said it was him.
Did they? They confirmed that?
Well,
yeah. I mean, I don't know how long some of these people.
I watched Screen Rant today, and I think they said that it was confirmed. But
some of these characters, I mean, some of these species, they live hundreds, thousands of years. Like you don't know. So
yeah. I mean, how old's Yoda?
Yeah, at this point, he's a young what did he say? When 900 years old you reach? So yeah, he's like 750.
Everyone speaks English.
So
I do like when she.
Do you want to read subtitles, Steve, the whole time?
No. I appreciate it. I appreciate a galaxy far, far away. I think I do really well there. I can understand everybody. Everybody to understand me.
There you go.
The big bug was cool. Oh, sorry.
I did like when Osha, she did tell the dude, I forgot his name, like, listen, if something happens, you have to do it. I can't do it. And if like, he was like, okay, like, I mean, you got to do it too. But like, they always give you that, like, oh, you got to kill her. But it never really happens that way. It's always the character that actually ends up killing the one character. So anyway.
Well, but again, like all of this is like, it's cool. It's a great like it's a cool Lord of the Rings shot of them all walking down the path. That's a great shot. But then you fill it in with 20 more seconds of dialogue that means nothing. It doesn't further anything. It has no weight because nothing you say here really matters when shit goes to shit. When everyone whips their lightsabers out 10 minutes from now, I'm not thinking about anything they just said on this hill. So it's like,
Now, in some of the conversation that they have, is it just to fill us in as an audience between the two of them when he's asking her the questions
100%.
about, like, how does this work with you killing a Jedi without a weapon? Can you take their weapon? Does that count? And then he starts getting on her. And he's like, well, you fail so much. You know what your master wants.
Yeah,
I think it's exposition mixed with an attempt of humor. They're trying to bring some levity to the show, even though it's not really a dark show. So, I mean, it might still get really dark, though. I don't know what happened. This show might take a turn, man.
I'm waiting for it to take a turn, to be honest. If it takes a heavy turn, I'm like, oh, shit. That's crazy. But
And she asks about him, and he's like, "Well, you know how the master is. He just collects people." I'm not sure how to take that part of it. What collects people, and then the other part is at the
Kind of like the Jedi do.
very much so, but they only collect children.
Yeah, babies when their parents say no. That's fucking wild, by the way.
Yes.
Ugh. So this is cool. Look how fucking happy he is right there to be doing that. That man's life accomplishments are being met in that moment.
Yeah.
He is so happy to be swinging that lightsaber.
Hey, he's my favorite character in the show. I love
100%.
Yeah.
Saul rocks.
So this is part of why, as Steve has said, that OSHA is probably the bad one. So they sense and they're like, oh, something's wrong and something's rotten. She walks by, she touches one of the creatures. And when she touches it, that's the one that wakes up and then tries to kill them.
Now,
so
that could be her evilness. It could be that nobody else. I also watched that scene twice, and nobody else touched a single one of them things.
Right, but did you do it on purpose?
I mean, I thought I was really mad when she first touched it because I was like, here's this dumb fucking Prometheus shit. Why are these assholes on this alien planet touching shit? Like, stop touching shit. This is bad.
I think it was just her being curious. Like, I don't take that. I'm not taking that. Oh, her evilness did it, but like, I don't know. I don't really know. I'm gonna be honest. I have no fucking idea. Maybe this is great storytelling, and I don't even fucking know because I don't know which one's evil, which one's not.
At the end of it, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, it was great. You just are all too stupid." Like, oh.
But then she has the conversation with Jackie after this, where she's like, "I was able to sense the creature, then I disturbed it, and now it's dead." Oh, okay. So you sensed it, you woke it up, and now you're upset because we had to kill it?
That sounds like bad writing. That's what that sounds like. That doesn't sound like nothing but bad writing.
Hey, I agree. That was nothing like business. Shit writing. There's more shit writing as we keep moving forward because it gets really bad at a certain point. I'm like, oof. All right, so she ducked it, whatever. Okay.
Yo.
Yeah, this is when he makes that comment about.
But this comes after May has her thing with dude after she hangs him up, and she's like, I'm out of here. She's like, you're wrong. If fucking May's alive, or if OSHA's alive, that changes everything. Our deal is off. I'm not allegiant to you or your master. I'm loyal to my sister. And so she's like, I'm gonna go turn myself in. Fuck it, I'll go sit in jail. And guess what? They're not gonna put me in jail when I tell them all the shit I know. I'm like, damn, here you go, May. May's not. May wasn't evil. May was like, I don't know. Like that's why I'm like, May's trying to do the good thing.
Jedi already. So
yeah, but she killed them because of what she thought that they did to her family.
Now she realizes she's getting played, right? Because she's been told that her sister's dead, but her sister's clearly not fucking dead. So she's getting played.
Yeah, but it was the turn was like so like right there. I'm like, huh?
I don't know. I thought it was a quick turn, like it came out of nowhere.
It was too quick.
But I think maybe she was, but like she'd been giving dude the side eye the whole episode.
Agreed. I agree.
Well, right.
So like I think
she's
been fighting with this the whole time, and now she's finally like, you know what? And also I think it was a good play on her part. She's trying to get him deep ass into the woods, trap him. Now she can get to Homeboy, and she doesn't think that the master can get to her, right? So she's trying to get away at the same time. I think this is a well played move on her part. It just sucks because now she's in here stuck with a dead Wookiee, and all these Jedis are out there, and she's been on a murder rampage, and he's next on her list. Like this all looks bad.
But it doesn't because it's a lightsaber slash, and she doesn't have a lightsaber.
But he does.
Yeah, but he does. No, now obviously that's the problem now. But I don't think they're going to believe that she killed him. Like I would.
If they could easily think that she got a hold of his lightsaber.
She could have. We'll see how that turns out. Yeah, I'm curious on that one.
My problem and question with this, Kanaka is in his chair, which is the last place we saw him. So it's not like he got up and tried to defend himself.
No.
So how do you sneak up on somebody from the front? I mean, he's a Jedi.
Maybe he killed him fast, and I don't know.
I don't know. That's the only thing that does.
I mean, you saw him use his force power pretty. He was pretty strong with that. He knocked her out and kind of stopped all of them charging her. So maybe he just froze them, slashed them, called it a day.
Put him back in his chair.
Reposition him.
Combed his hair, give him a little blow dry.
That was a cool reveal, though. It was a cool reveal. And that was cool, too. The Batman move in the back.
Yeah, that shit was badass. I was like,
yes.
That was like some horror movie shit.
And well, you guys are definitely the horror people, but the sound effect too, to where it had that string noise like that, just that slow string as it's dropping in behind.
And then look,
like,
fear,
shit.
Fear leads to anger, and nobody here is really afraid except for her. The rest of them are curious, but they whip out their lightsabers ready to fucking fight. May doesn't look like she's scared. She looks like she knows what's coming, but she don't look like she's like shaking in her boots. This one right here, though. That's your weak link.
This OSHA?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's ready. She's easily manipulated.
That shit was dope, dog. The way he came down, the way he creeped up, I was like, ooh, it was good. That was again. The mask looks weird.
Okay, so you can see an eye in there.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
I mean, I don't want it to be Jason Mendoza just because I just don't believe him to be that powerful, but seems like that's what they're leading us to believe.
I think that's bait and switch.
I don't know. I think
that's what I'm hoping. It's a bait and switch, and it's somebody.
I hope the same thing. So
yeah, I have a lot of fear about the reveal of this, but I'm looking at the mask now, and that's a Mandalorian helmet that's been repurposed. You can see the bottom, the gap there on the bottom. You can see the curves on the cheek right there. I don't know. It looks a lot like could we have something there?
It's a cool helmet though. It's not a bad helmet though. It's fucking weird as shit, but I like it.
So, who thinks that this is a character that we have already seen, that we've been introduced to? And if so, who are you going with on who's behind the mask?
I think it is a character we've already seen before, but I don't know who it is, and I'll be disappointed by whoever it is because I don't want it to be anybody that we've seen already. So
I think it's going to be one of the witches. The reason why I say that is because they were already dark side force users. How they walked up to OSHA here. I think
it's the mom.
It's kind of like not seeing her. I think it might have been.
So the mom shaves off the big locks.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
or
they've been calling him he all the time. That could be just to throw us off. We don't know.
Exactly. The voice changers we see in the helmets.
That's a thin neck. That's a thin neck.
It is a thin neck though.
Or is it the other?
And they're in robes, so you can't see the body.
But she was. It looked slim. When it dropped down from the tree, it didn't look like a big old muscle bound dude.
Dude, there's a whole thing behind this, and I'm very intrigued. I don't know who the fuck this is, and I'm happy I don't know.
And they are roughly the same height.
My money's on the mom, then. My money's on the mom with the shaved head.
Yeah.
Is it that one or the other one, the Zabrak with the horns?
Not the horns. I don't think the helmet's. Well, the helmet does look a little bulbous at the top, like big enough for the horns to fit in.
Yeah.
See where the eyes are, where the horns would be. See where the eyes are, as opposed to where the horns would kind of wrap around the helmet would sit right on top.
Yeah, so.
I think
we never saw her. She had the dark skin on her face, but I don't remember it on the neck.
See,
look at the hands.
Look at the hands, though.
Okay, that's not the mom.
Yeah, that's not a mom. That's not. Those are not women. That's man. That's.
And the Zabrak, that lady, she would have. It would be more designs down the hands.
Man hands.
Man hands. Like in Seinfeld. Remember that episode?
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I think
that looks like a dude.
Yeah.
Damn it, I don't know. Fuck, who knows? I don't even know anymore.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. So they're doing a job that I just don't fucking I have no idea. So,
well, we know who it's not. All the people that are in the scene. So
yeah, we can roll out Saul. We can roll. So Yeah, but Osha just gets hooked to the side. Just...
And then
And
the
then
the big end.
But then that scene,
That
that
looks
shot right there, that looks like a lady's arm.
I agree, Steve. I agree. I'm so confused. and if it is, it would be the Zabrak, and her. She had a white skin, so like I mean, maybe it's her. I don't really know, dude. I'm young.
But we didn't see her dead.
No,
we saw the mom. We saw the mom laying down. We didn't see her like face or anything, but we saw her laying there, and we saw a bunch of the other witches, but we did not see the Horned Lady.
I agree. We did not.
All right, that's it. Money's on the Horned Lady. Darth Maul's mom is under the helmet.
Darth Maul's mom. Yeah, I don't.
One of them. I think it's one of them. So we'll see. But I mean, again, supposedly this next episode we're gonna get kind of the other point of view.
She wanted to fight them Jedi.
Episode 3. So my guess is this scene right here. We're not seeing this until episode 6, the conclusion.
So they finally give us some action, and then they break it for a whole 2 weeks.
Well,
this pace of this show, man.
next week's episode, we're going to see the Jedi fighting each other, and we're going to see how all of them died in the temple. So there's going to be action there, or in whatever, not temple, but whatever they were in.
Yeah.
Where? Nobody died though. They were all here.
No, all the witches. We're going back to the flashback from a different point of view.
Yep.
Season or episode 3 retold.
So how many is 8 episodes for the season total?
I think so.
So we're halfway through.
Halfway.
Yeah.
Man, I wish they would just dump all 4 next week.
That's what I said when we started this.
Wouldn't that be fucking tough if they did that? Oh god damn! I'd stay up and watch all of them.
Right, and then I wonder how the critics and the fans would feel if we got to just watch it all the way through and didn't have this back and forth.
Well, I think that's what hurts these type of series, right? Because when we were getting these type of series on Netflix, they're dumping them all at once, right?
Especially the 30-minute ones. An hour, I can wait a week, like an hour 10, something like that. That gives you some meat to chew on, some real sustenance to get you by for a week. These 32-minute episodes for a week is like bullshit.
Yeah.
For $180 million. Like, come on. Man.
I have such a problem with these 30-minute episodes. I really feel like they should be an hour episodes. Like, it doesn't, like, we're so used to hour episodes on shit. And
they're raising our subscription prices.
Yeah, I'm
shortening our episode lengths.
I don't understand why Disney's doing these 30-minute episodes. They should all be like an hour. It's if you're putting in a Game of Thrones budget, you need to make it Game of Thrones length. And Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, like they all started this kind of shit. These hour long, even HBO did it. Like all those hour long episodes. They should be like, if you got a TV show, it should be an hour long.
They had their dull moments, right? Or their talking moments where nothing was happening, some exposition dumps and that, but they also had tons of action, tons of cool shit that happened.
Well, I think the thing is, again, those series, and I think this is why you're seeing it and you're hearing about Marvel changing their positioning, is they're getting showrunners. They didn't have showrunners for these because they weren't really treating them like television. They were treating them like a made-for-TV miniseries. Like, remember when those used to happen, like It and stuff like that, like back in the 80s and 90s?
Yeah, but
like
they didn't drop that they didn't drop 30 minutes of that over the course of 2 months.
Of a week. No, I agree. That was like a nightly thing, right? You had 5 nights, and it's like every night this week, it's an hour. You know,
that was great. That was good stuff.
I think that's part of the problem is these don't feel like they're supposed to be cut up. We talked about this. I remember when we talked about this during Falcon and Winter Soldier, because it felt like it was a movie and all they were doing was just stopping at a random point and waiting for next week to continue.
Because it was
to be continued, because it wasn't like a episode per episode. Like when you're talking about Game of Thrones and you're talking about all these other series, it's for the most part those episodes start, middle, end next week, start, middle, end, right? These don't
a lot of shit
No.
happens, and there's episodes of Game of Thrones and like Breaking Bad and certain shows that are in that ilk that I would consider to be some of the best like cinema ever created, movie, TV show, just single episodes.
Yeah.
And I would even put Andor up in that list of single episodes of shit that was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But so far, not so much with the 30-minute acolytes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not holding it against it. Like I said, I'm still very intrigued by the story.
Yeah,
I'm very curious about what the fuck is going on. I want to know. I want to know what the Jedi did. I want to know.
If the show's not as bad as everyone's saying it is, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, dog. Like, just fucking wait it out, man. Like, they're telling a story here. Like, just wait it out. I get it. You guys want something important to happen. You want more lightsaber battles, I guess. I don't know, but let the story be the story and just kind of let it play. Like, I don't understand where everybody's just shitting on it. Oh, this is terrible. This is garbage. No, it's not garbage.
No. It's not garbage. I still think just drop them all at once. I mean, we saw Fallout. Fallout gave us everything because it's Amazon, and that was another show that if we'd have watched it episode by episode, it would have been kind of this.
Yeah, but Amazon does that with the boys. It's weird. They kind of like pick and choose.
They did. I think they knew they trusted the boys. It all depends on how much you trust which
and you know what else? Let's be honest. About an hour of the boys is about all I can really stomach.
I agree.
For a week, I'm like, damn, I do not need more. Like, I'm good for a bit.
Yeah, I agree. You got to pull that back a little bit.
I gotta let that digest.
I have not watched it. I have not watched it yet because everything I've heard, I'm like, I don't know. After last season, I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, it's
even
topped.
for me,
I don't know how they topped it, but they did. I was like, damn.
And even for me, and you guys know how I talk and some of my humor and stuff. Last season for me was like, oh, it was tough to stomach. And then I kept hearing what I don't know what happened this episode, but I kept hearing that it was worse. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting because I know we're going to talk about it on Saturday.
It's not good.
Like,
it is gross.
But, pretty crazy.
But going back to Acolyte, like, I see the problems. It is not a perfect series
it's not
whatsoever. Like, yeah, for the people who have complaints, if you're complaining about writing, not great. We've talked about it.
Agreed.
There is some good intrigue, which we're all interested in. Like, what is happening? Like, what do these Jedi do? Because we know they did something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to complain about the green screen versus like the practical sets and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I agree with Steve completely. Because you can tell it was night and day in this episode, especially, right?
Like, when they were like did that walk and they were like walking under the roots of the tree or whatever, I was like, it looks like they're walking in line for a Disneyland ride. It's like, oh my god, damn.
But when I hear the complaints about agenda stuff and some of it, you know what? Who's to blame for some of it? It's what's her Leslie Headland, right? She came out before the series came out and started talking a lot of shit.
Yeah, she fucked up.
Like when you start doing that, you're throwing gasoline on a fire here, and that's what she ended up doing. And so now you're going to hear all that. Now everyone's going to take everything, just like we talked about with that creature, out of proportion. Like, you just blew it out of proportion, and I don't think it had anything to do with that. But because she threw gasoline on it, and there were comments, all over the place that she made prior, and I'm like, yo, you didn't do your show any favors.
No, you didn't.
There are all these complaints. I see it all. Again, if I had to give like a Rotten Tomato score, this thing is a rotten at this moment. This thing is below a 60%. This is not great cinema. This is okay TV, and a lot of times if it wasn't Star Wars, I don't think I would still be going with it.
But we also know that we're halfway through, and I have been swayed by movies both ways. I have thought this movie's great halfway through, and then by the end being like, what the fuck? Village.
How many times have we had a movie that started off and we're like, oh my god, yes, and then like, wow.
And there's I'm trying to think of a good example of something that like started off bad and then got awesome. Like I don't even. I'm sure it's happened,
there's lots,
but I can't remember.
I mean, let's be honest. The last season of Game of Thrones was not good. I mean, it wasn't great. There was some good shit though.
House of the Dragon?
No, Game of Thrones.
No, Game of Thrones.
Oh, that was no good. Yeah. That's a show that started off good and then ended really poorly.
Yeah. So like, it's not. I mean, granted, that was about what 6 or 7 seasons, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the jury's still out on the show. I'm not gonna shit on it all the way. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
4 more.
And I also think we've been spoiled with a lot of things, right?
Oh,
like
I agree.
We get so many good things, and
I agree.
And then we expect everything at that level, and it's like I'm never gonna get there.
But I'm just like 180 million. Like, show it to me. Where is it?
Well, and that's the thing. Like you look at that, and people are comparing it to right, like Godzilla -1, $15 million budget. Do you see Do you see the special effects? But yeah, that's a different country. That's different pay scales. That's a whole lot of different things going on there.
But at the same time,
can do things. Yeah, you can do things with a little bit.
But if you watch the first, you're not gonna watch it. But the House of Dragons, every scene is just like, damn, where'd you get this? Where did you get all this shit from?
Now, that's a world that looks lived in.
You are because that's all on set. That's all that because they only had to build certain sets and they're using those.
Look, they made that work with Mandalorian. But there has to be somebody in these fucking daily meetings that is watching this going, it doesn't work for this show. It worked for the Mandalorian. I don't know why. It's working great over there.
Well, right, because Andor
does not work for this.
They didn't use those, and Andor was more practical design sets and real world.
Yep. Yeah.
Very good.
I think there's a good way to balance both.
It's like, your budget cut.
There's a good way to balance both, but I think the problem is we don't have a showrunner that's doing that, that's balancing that out.
That Bug's Life movie, fucking the world felt more lived in than this.
Bug's Life is a great movie.
Talking about Rebel Moon, yo.
Oh, but I'm talking about Bug's Life.
All right.
Yeah, but that budget was like $800 million.
No, it fucking wasn't. It was the same as this shit. It was the same as this fucking shit.
I'm messing.
We went too long. It's we're at an hour and 22. And
oh my god! I don't even know what time it is. I gotta go to work in the morning. All right.
So yeah, we said it all. Listen, join us here next week for episode 5 of Acolyte. And we'll. I mean, we're starting to dumb down to the end, so we'll see what happens. But yeah. This is Sean.
This is Lil.
This is Steve.
And this is Ed.
And may the force be with you.
Always.
And also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the show. Thank you very much. And have a good night.